Morning. We're back out here at it again today. It's supposed to be raining this afternoon, so we're gonna see what we can get done before the rain moves in. Swung by Napa this morning. Picked up an ignition switch, so I officially have a key for the truck now. It's always a good thing, right? Hopefully it should be direct switch over. Got the three deals there. That's the important part, right? Keys, turn the tumblers over. I'm gonna pick up a new fuel filter. We'll get that installed today. The plan is to just use some straight house. We'll get the actual diesel fuel in it later, but I'm gonna try and just fill the fuel filter housing up with the diesel treatment there. See if it'll fire up. And I know everybody hates this stuff, but just in case, right? Yeah, I went ahead and picked up some starting fluid. I got the batteries back in last night. I did not actually make the connections on there. I got the battery cables and everything all cleaned up, so I just need to put them down there, tighten them up, screw them down tight. Yeah, I think it's gonna be it. Install the ignition switch, change the fuel filter out, or actually I guess install the new fuel filter. I already got the old one out. Yeah, and we'll turn the key and see what happens. Cross our fingers. We'll come back to y'all when we get to that part though, right? All right, we started to get ready to install the ignition switch, and I had a little bit of a issue, so come in here to the shop. We got the old multimeter out. Here's what we got going on though. Here's the back of the original one. All three positions are clearly labeled: the battery, the coil, and the accessory. On the back of the new one, the only thing that is labeled is the battery. You don't know which one of those posts is for the accessories and which one's for the coil. So I came down here to get the multimeter out, just do a quick continuity check. And while playing with this particular switch, prop this up somehow. Good Lord. I gotta get better at this, don't I? Sorry folks, just bear with me a minute. All right, this particular switch has got the center. It'll go to the left and to the right, but the center is where it comes out, so that's the off position. And then to the right, we want that to be run. Okay, I don't know how this is showing up on video real good. This truck's obviously it's a push button start, so once you click it to the run, you just need fire going to the coil and the accessories to make sure everything comes on. And then to the left and backwards would be counterclockwise. That's just gonna be your accessory, so you just won't turn the radio on or something like that, you know. Anyway, so we don't know which one of those posts is what, so that we get it wired up right. Let's do a continuity check. So to the right, that should get a beep. And if you just take your two leads and connect them together, hear that buzz and that beep, tell me that's good. So I come over here. I can't tell if anybody can see nothing the way I've got this phone propped up. Bring it over, it might help a little. Set it on the bench a little bit. All right, which one of those was my battery? I think that's gonna be my battery. Now I should get, yep, through both of these. Of course it rolled over on me. Should have them on all points. Yep, because that's my run position. Well, the question is which one's really my accessory switch, so I can turn the key counterclockwise. Now you wouldn't be able to start the truck in this position. Like I said, it's just gonna turn on your accessories. Which one was the battery post? Okay, there's the battery, and I don't know which one. One of these should buzz, and the other one won't. So that's gonna be the coil. This should buzz. Yep, there we go. I can hold them on there steady. So that one there, and I just gotta remember which one that is when I get out to the truck. And that's how I figured out how I'm gonna wire this up, even though it wasn't labeled. Thank you. All right, we're right back here. Like I said, I have not installed the key yet. It's not lined up or nothing. Come on, Mike. There. And of course, I got a mosquito buzzing in my ear now. Well, is it upside down? Let's try this. Oh, there we go. I didn't film none of that. Thanks. I'm gonna start over. I got a mosquito flying in my ear and trying to do that. It's wiggling around. Okay, I just tried to make a video of me putting the key in and turning it for the first time, but I had a mosquito buzzing in my ear and trying to hold the camera with one hand and everything flopping around up here. Anyway, set the phone up. So like I said, I'm not going to try and I'm not going to hit the button and try and start the engine, but I do want to put the key in the ignition if I can figure out which way it goes. I don't have the ignition switch straight up and down. I'll fix all that in a minute. Key's in it. Now when I turn it, I should get a buzzer. Let's see, let's go like to the accessory switch. And there's no radio, AM, FM in this truck, but let's see. Oh, some lights did come on up here at the CB. Let's see, on the kicker. I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh, there we go. So, yeah. All right, so we got the accessory power. It's what we wanted on that position. Now in this next one, I should get buzzers because there ain't no air in this thing, you know. There's the off position, and we'll come back around. Bingo. Ah, yeah. I got a feeling we're getting close. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting close. I'm gonna go put the fuel filter in and see what we can do with it. Be back with you in a little bit. All right, just got the phone set up, propped up. Yesterday y'all saw me drain the old fuel out of the filter, water separator, and today I got a new fuel filter. I'm just gonna video installing that. It's really simple stuff. You just press it down on there. Now this is actually a Napa filter, which is fine. The one that came off of it was Baldwin brand. I went to Napa and got the new one. I did write down the Baldwin number and also got the part number for this new Napa filter. One of the things I did not pick up when I was there, there's an O-ring gasket. I don't know where the camera can see in here. There's an O-ring gasket that goes here and one up here on the cap, which is not that big a deal for this part of it, but next go around I'll make sure I get one. And pretty simple right here. We just push it down on there and then we screw it down tight. And of course, the phone falls down. Right? That's, if the phone don't fall down, have you even really installed a fuel filter? So anyway, this is part up right here. I'll just finish tightening that down, take this cap back off, and then I'm gonna pour some Howes down in here. So the phone fell down. I'll finish this up and come back to you. All right, I got the bowl back on over the filter there. Got the cap off the top. I propped the phone back up, but definitely understand why people go get those GoPros and those little tripod mounts. I may do a little shopping, get online, see if I can find one. Probably ought to get a phone put down in there, but it wouldn't necessarily fit. Like I said, I'm just gonna fill it up with some diesel treatment, some Howes brand. See if I can figure out how to get in there, and hopefully I don't just make a huge mess. I may have to go get in the damn funnel anyway. I did make sure that the valve was shut down there on the bottom where I drained all the old fuel out. Let's see. Just gonna watch the bowl when I start seeing it come up a little bit. Right now the filter material is just soaking all this stuff up pretty good. Typically when you service your vehicle, service your tractor, you're gonna just put some regular old fuel back in here. But taking a little more than I thought. Oh, that's right, I drained the bowl all the way down. Never mind. Well, what is going on? Glad I bought 2 bottles of this actually. Okay. Let's see just how much this thing's gonna take to fill this fuel water separator up. Wait to see my fuel level come up in this filter housing a little bit. Real quiet, y'all might be able to hear it. I hear it draining down in there somewhere. Whoa, Mike. There you go, getting it everywhere, stupid. Should've gone and got a funnel. Woulda, coulda, shoulda though at this point, huh? That's real interesting right there. Like I said, I ain't necessarily saying I know what I'm doing, but just necessarily this is what I'm doing on this piece of equipment. Got me kind of curious where it all went, huh? I would have thought that I'd be able to start seeing it in there by now. Right, we'll go get the other bottle and see what happens. All right, I'm back. Did y'all miss me while I was gone? I'm sure you did not. Just fine. All right. Let's see if we can keep adding some until I see it in the bowl. But at this point, I'm glad I bought two bottles of this stuff. I really would have thought one would have been enough, but sometimes you get lucky. There we go. See the fuel in there? We'll just we'll go with about right there. We'll call that good. All right. Thank you. Boy, I made a mess. Guess we'll go ahead and screw this back on. One of the rubber O-rings is in this thing, the other one down here in this. So this would just be the first go around. I am going to absolutely break this phone, ain't I? Alright, anyway, that's good. I'll have to go get me a GoPro or something, kind of tripod. Talk to y'all later. Alright, here's the next little issue, a project on it. I went and got a stick, actually stuck down in the fuel tank. There's a little bit down in there. I don't know, it's an 80-gallon tank, so there's at least 10, if not 20 gallons in there. Pull all this moss down off it from here, and I'm gonna run this bulb down in there. Run this hose hooked to this bulb down. I'm gonna start trying to hand pump it out. I gotta feel my forearm is just gonna be on fire before I'm done with this, because I gotta do it to both sides. Try and get as much of that old fuel out. I got 10 gallons of fresh fuel I'm gonna put down in there. I just dump 5 on each side, but I want to get as much of the old stuff out as I can before I do all that. That's what we got going on now. Nothing to this really, just some work. Like I said, I just dropped the end of the hose down in the tank. Got the other end going in an old 5-gallon bucket here. Just hand pumping it. Didn't take but just a couple pumps and it's primed up and going, but I'm gonna be here for a while. It's old fuel. Trying not to make too big of a mess, but you can see it coming out. Yeah, it's making a mess. I got the lid on the bucket. Let's see if I can hold this up. Show you what I'm pumping out here. How nasty some of the stuff is. You can see the color on it or not. It don't even smell like diesel fuel no more, to be honest with you. Wish I didn't have the lid on this bucket, but I'm making a mess trying. All right, I've already pumped 5 gallons out. I just went and got me another bucket. I can't talk. Stuck the tank again. Should have marked exactly where on the stick it was when I started. I can kind of gauge how much is in there. By 5 gallons at a time, I'm gonna do something to mark that, and I'll be able to track it and see as I'm going. It takes about 15 minutes for 5 gallons, just pumping that little bulb right there. Time consuming, gets a little tedious, but we'll get it done. Okay, so what I ended up doing is I took a file and I just scratched a mark on the rebar there. That's where the fuel level was on it. And then I came over here and I Just finished pumping out a second 5-gallon bucket. Let's stick it back down in there and see how much of a change is on there. Trying to keep the angle on the rebar about the same up and down as I can. Let's see, where's my mark and where's the fuel? It doesn't seem to have made any difference. Let me spray some brake cleaner on this thing and try and clean it off so I can actually see the fuel level. Alright, so I sprayed a little bit of brake cleaner on the rebar there. Clean the fuel off and you should be able to see. I'm assuming there's a fuel line crossover. Holy shit. It didn't drop it but about an inch. I'm gonna be here a lot longer than I thought, but I'm gonna try and get as much of this old fuel out of here as I possibly can. Okay, pumped a total of 15 gallons out. There's 2. There's the 3rd one. I went ahead and stuck a piece of rebar in there, and I've been using a file just to scratch on there where I was. I did not mark the original location from when I first started, but so I pumped 5 gallons out, and then this is what we had pumped. So this would have been 10. I'm not even filming right, so okay. So I pumped 5 out, and then I marked it. This would have been pumped another 5, so that's 10 gallons. Pumped another 5, that's 15 gallons. You can see where this is going. It's going to take. All right, my forearms are already on fire. There's more fuel in this thing than what I assumed. Still got the other tank. I don't think there's a crossover on here. Of course, there's no air in the suspension, but I've kind of stuck my head down here. I haven't actually crawled up under this truck yet. There's not much room, so low to the ground at the moment. But I do not see a low line fuel crossover. Might be one going up high, but I don't. Point being, I don't think I'm sucking fuel out of that other tank. I still got fuel in that other tank to get to also. So I'm gonna run on into town. See if I can't find me something else other than this hand bulb that I had that's really just for outboard motors kind of stuff. Hopefully not spend too much money. Would have been a whole lot better off if I'd come out here and pump, 10 or 15 gallons a day, running errands, come back, pump you another 5 or 10 gallons just over time, a little here, a little there, instead of sitting there trying to do this all in one shot. Like I said, I'm gonna run in town, go to Harbor Freight, see if I can find me some type of liquid transfer pump, something to make this happen a little bit faster. A whole lot less work on my forearms because they are on fire. See y'all in a little while. All right, guys, we're back in the shop now. Late in the afternoon. I was out there in the field working on the truck. It started raining pretty good. It's just now starting to slack off, but everything's good and wet, so we're gonna call it a day. I'm good and wet. I had the toolbox out there with me, so in the back of the truck, so I threw everything, drove it back over to the shop real quick, get it inside. I tried that pump. I couldn't ever get it to take a prime. I don't know. My original plan was to suck all the fuel out, put fresh fuel in the tanks before I hit the button. That's becoming more of a chore than I really would have thought. The little bulb works, but I don't know. I'll probably squeeze it about 1.5 million times. And I've got 25 gallons out already, and I'm gonna estimate another 50 gallons still in the 2 tanks. I had a bottle of seafoam. I dumped half a bottle on each side right before it started raining. And call it a day. I may try and siphon it out tomorrow. I got my doubts as to whether that'll actually work just because the fuel level's so low in the tanks, but give it that one more try before I call it. But I was hoping to have all that done today so I could actually hit the button and started it, or at least attempted to start it and see where we were at. Sorry, I'm not like looking, just staring at the camera. I'm watching it rain out here. It's kind of nice, But that's where we're at this evening. Got shut down by the rain. I'm gonna head to the house, get cleaned up. And hey, if it ain't raining, we'll come back out here tomorrow. See if we can't finish getting the rest of that old fuel out of those tanks. And get some fresh fuel in them, and we'll see what we can get done. Starting to rain again some more. I think I'm gonna sit here and just listen to the rain for a while, maybe before I go home. Y'all have a good evening. Bye. Hey guys, it's Mike coming back again. I know I said I was gonna go home after the rain, but I cooled it off considerably, so I decided to come back out here and just spend some more time pumping this fuel if I can get it to prime up again. Come on. There we go. Yeah, that rain gave me time to kind of stop and think about this. I contemplated just going ahead and trying to start it with this old fuel in here, but I told myself no, don't do that. The original plan was to get all this fuel out of here as much as I possibly could, put some fresh fuel in there before I tried to start it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Tried 2 different style pumps, so I didn't have to sit here and pump this bulb like this. One of them actually worked. I did a transfer from one 5-gallon bucket to the other, and so I knew it actually physically worked, but the pickup stem on it, the tube on it, was not long enough to reach the fuel down in the bottom of this, and I couldn't figure out a way. I don't have the stuff handy to extend it out. It's made out of plastic, and I couldn't come up with anything around the shop. Wasn't worth running back in town trying to figure out something else. I had that other pump that I bought to use my drill as the power supply. So that was self-priming. I never did get it to prime up. I tried to manually prime it, put fuel in the tube, and then stick it in there obviously real quick. I was spinning, but it just loses the prime. I guess if you've got a smaller project or something, you're trying to drain water out of a fish tank in your living room or something, it would be good for that. But out here I couldn't get it to work properly, so I'm just kind of stuck with this pump deal. Well, like I said, the rainstorm cooled it off considerably. So I'm just back out here hand pumping this again. Couldn't get it to just prime, or not prime, I was gonna try and siphon it. Ooh, fell out of the bucket. I'm gonna siphon it, but I couldn't ever get it to work. The fuel level in these tanks is actually pretty low, you would think. The fuel gauge didn't work even after I hooked the batteries up and turned the key up. Of course I checked that, assuming the sending unit's bad. I don't know how much fuel's in here, I stuck the tank. It seemed to be, less than a quarter of a tank of fuel. This 80-gallon tank on each side. So what's that? Quarter tank. It's like 20 gallons. So it'll be a total of 40. How many I got? I got 10, 20. I've already pumped 35 out. I'm working on my 40th gallon here, so I've got to be getting close to the bottom, It's probably kind of a boring video here. Y'all just sitting there watching me ramble on and talk as I just pump this bulb. But that's the story of my life right now. Like I said, I was getting mad and aggravated. I need to talk myself down. I really didn't want to use this old fuel. I don't know. Some people say probably fire, some people want blah, 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 who knows, probably would. I just don't want to run it through the injectors, is what I'm concerned with. I don't know if they're going to be any good or not to start with. Anyway, said I'm not a real mechanic, just kind of a shade tree guy. I'm not saying I'm doing stuff the right way, I'm just saying it's the way I'm doing it. So I'm going to keep pumping this, and y'all keep praying for me right now that I don't lose my mind doing this, because this is insanity for sure. Talk to y'all later.